I'm on Sunshine Street, right in the middle of Springfield, a place you might want to know about, and that is Half Price Hearing Aids. Charles with me. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you again.
Okay, give your elevator speech, kind of a thumbnail sketch of what Half Price Hearing Aids is all about.
We started in 2009 with the idea that we could really help people that we could make hearing aids more attainable for people. Now, it's not like hearing aids are cheap, but they're a lot cheaper here than they are at other places. So that was one of the main things. Of course, we really wanted to focus in on ongoing care, unlimited appointments for free if you buy hearing aids here. That is one of the major factors why hearing aid fittings can fail, and so we wanted to make sure that that was a huge focus. And of course, we just got a lot of really nice, friendly people here too.
This is very true. The other thing is, just because you can give someone a lesser price, that doesn't lessen the quality, though.
You've got to have a good result.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit how hearing loss affects people, because so many times you want to go inward with it. Oh, I can't hear. Oh, I don't. It affects people on the outside too.
It really does. We had an ad that was, I had these two experiences that I'll share, but we came out with this ad right afterward, and it started out like this. If you have a hearing loss, you're not the only person suffering from it.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing people don't realize. It's not just the person that has the hearing loss that's suffering. Everybody around him that loves him and wants to talk to him is suffering. Yeah. That's hard for both people, to get a hold of.
And I know part of what you say is come and hear what you're missing.
Yes.
And when I think of it is like, really, you can never hear again a child's first words. Things like that.
I mean, there's so many important things, and you don't realize you're missing it, know. But now let me just share. We had a couple of experiences. One time I had a couple in front of me, and the gentleman was, he had a pretty severe hearing loss. And at the time, I really didn't have a great deal of understanding, and it was kind of a very great learning experience to me that she was getting really upset with him about his hearing loss. And I said, look, if he had a broken leg, you wouldn't say, come on, let's run up the stairs. And I felt very dutiful for having, done my job and all that. Well, then we hired a guy with hearing loss, and I hope he doesn't hear this because he works here still. And I would say, hey, can you get me this or that? And he didn't say what? He didn't say anything. He didn't hear one word I was saying.
Right.
Now, he has hearing aids now, and it's a lot better. But at the time, I found myself, after about 3 months of it, when he first started, just going, I started getting angry, and I went, you are experiencing what that woman experienced, and you're finally understanding, that it is suffering for everybody around the person.
Frustration on both parts. Also, there's an isolation factor on both parts.
It kind of goes at first where there's just this minor frustration and all this, but it can progress all the way to where someone is just not talking with others at all. And you go up and you see your uncle at the family reunion or something, and you say, hey, what's going on? And he goes, yesterday. And you go, well, it's great to see you. And it says, yeah, I went to the zoo yesterday too.
Yes.
Or what, you know what I mean?
Yes. No connection.
And after a while you go, okay, nice to see you. And he said, and you give up on him. And then he gives up on himself. And that has a profound emotional effect on people.
I would think part of the frustration is not only missing communication, it's the thought of, why don't you do something about this?
Right, and this is the beauty of it, that there's so much can be done about it. Now, when you have someone that has a very advanced hearing loss, it does, hearing aids definitely help, but there still can be some struggling the further along someone going. Now, and we have lots of experiences, very touching experiences around here of when someone does get benefit and how that can affect their life.
What are some of the other examples you might have?
There's lots, but the two that really stand out that always touch me greatly is a gentleman came in to he had bought hearing aids, he was just getting some final work done on them. And he comes in here and he goes, yeah, I just want to get this and this. I'm going over to see my mom. Something happened. She's in the hospital. Well, he came back about a week later and she had passed away that day. And he got to hear her. And he says, I heard my mom, because he wasn't hearing anything before that. And they got to have this parting experience. I was barely holding it together. In fact, I'm not sure I did hold it together. Another one is a mom and a daughter were together, and the mom was getting hearing aids. And when it was all said and done, we got everything set up. she goes, well, Mom, how do you think you're doing? She goes, pretty good. So would you like to go do something? Sure. What would you like to do? Let's go get a hamburger. And all of a sudden, the daughter just started crying, and I went, I'm sorry, what's the matter? And she goes, she looked up at me, looked right in my eyes, said, I haven't talked to my mom in 5 years. I was just like, it was so touching, and that is the reality of it, that there's help to be had for this,
Yeah.
and it makes it that sort of a difference in people's life.
All right, if people want more information, you want to understand all of the things, the ways that you can help them here at Half Price Hearing, how do they get that information?
So the best is by phone, 417-823-0484 or halfpricehearingaids.com.
Pretty simple. Thank you very much for having us
Yes,
in.
sir.
Half Price Hearing Aids. Come in and hear what you're missing.